Okay, now let us implement logout. Let us implement logout. So what in the home page, what I'm going to do here is I am going to create one button. Right. And on click of this, let us name ID is equal to logout button. Okay. I'm just going to write a simple script tag here. It is a JavaScript. Okay. Or let me just write on click. What should happen? Logout. And here, this is a JavaScript code. Okay. And this calls right. So what happens is right. So I am going to reload this and simple logout button here. So what it tries is it will try to redirect to the logout page. It will try to redirect to logout page. Okay. On click of this button, right? On click, I'm saying call this function. This is a simple JavaScript function. And here I'm saying location, go to logout, go to logout. Okay, well, we did not implement logout yet. Yeah, let us go implement a logout URL. @app.route/logout. Right. Def. So in order to access the logout, you should be logged in, or else let us ignore for that now. Logout. And what we are saying is from login manager, you have a function called, just like login user, you also have something called logout user, which means it removes that cookie from the browser. It removes that cookie from the browser and it no way can access that. If let me just say logout user return redirect to /login. Right. So what did we say? Now what I'm saying is I'll click on logout. Okay, it should remove that cookie from the browser. Let us see if it removes or not. You all can see this session cookie now.
Yes, sir.
Now once I click on that logout button, it has to remove that session cookie. Oh, what happened? That is gone and it is redirected back to login page. It has redirected back to login page. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay, right. So, and let me try to log in again. Log in, logged in. I got my cookie created and it went to the home page and I said log out. It removed the cookie and went back to the login page. And let me try accessing the home page now. Can I access? Because I have not logged in. It says unauthorized. Now, instead of saying unauthorized, I want it to move to the login page. I mean, if it knows that, okay, this user is not authorized, this is a protected view. Instead of saying this unauthorized view, I want it to go back to the login screen. I want it to go back to the login screen. If I have to do that at the login manager, I have to set this particular value, right? Login manager dot login view is equal to login. So this is the function name that I have used, login. Okay, and it will call this function. If at all, if the user is not authorized, it will call this login function and goes to that view. Now let us see what happened. Every time I try to access home page, instead of unauthorized, it will say redirect us back to login. It will redirect us back to login. See, that is how most of the applications work, right? So you are not writing much of a code, right? All you have to remember is, okay, in order to manage the login, I have to use the library, which is the one? Flask login. It does take care of the logging in user, logout user, and also the protected views as well. It does take care of the protected views as well, which is using the login required decorator. Once the authentication is valid, once you manage your authentication, right, which is what we have done here, right? Once you manage, once you know the authenticate the user, it will redirect to the home page. Once it comes to the home page, it wants it the login required is a decorator which we have used to protect this home view, meaning anybody who wants to access this protected view, which is the home/home, right? They should be logged in first. They should have logged in first. If they don't log in, it will redirect to the login page. If they are already logged in, then it will access them to allow the home page. It will access them to allow the home page. Right now, let me just try logging in. Done. From there, it gets redirected to the home page and we are good. Right now, right? So there is a particular cookie, and with the cookie, I can access any of the protected views. So your browser will take care of sending this cookie on every request. Your browser will take care of sending that request to every sending that cookie information on every request slash user slash profile. So this is another thing, user profile. So I'm going to create a new HTML called user profile. So there I'm just going to display my user information, So templates, I'm going to call it HTML user profile.html. Here, simple, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, so So once you log in, right, by default, Flask will create an object called current user. Flask will create by default Flask login, right? It would create an object called current user. So it would manage internally. So we don't have to worry about once you log in, if you want to access the current user ID, you can always use current user object. Name, ID, name, email. Three things that I want to print. ID, name, email. Right? By default, it would create a current user. So what I'm going to do is user slash profile. Okay, template not found, user profile.html. Why? We did create user profile.html. What did HTML? That is correct. Okay, I think I did create it in the wrong page, or what did I do? So this is a long thing. User profile I added into another one. Let me just copy this here. I don't know why this guy got opened. So here I have my user profile. Now I should be good. One moment. Okay, let me reload. Okay, looks like my server stopped. Yes, it did. Let me run my server. Let me reload. Oh, well, is this my data?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let me go back to the home page. Right. Let me just say log out. Right. In the home page, I'll give access to the user profile. Okay. In the home page, I'll give access to the user profile. And I am going to create another function. Home. Home. I'm going to create another function called home. If I click on that button, this function will be executed. So this is a JavaScript function, simple. Now let me log in again to verify things. Okay, the button name is still the logout. This should be home button. Right, click on this, it should redirect to the home, and I'll create one more button. Okay, on home, why do I need home, right? So I'm going to create a users slash profile button. User profile function. Profile and on home. User profile, done. Right, if clicking on this takes me to the user profile page where I can see my data. Right, and here I will give the home link again. Right, let me go to the user profile. Let me just go to the user profile. Right, and here I'm going to create a simple home button. Add a simple script tag. Right, let me reload. The name is coming as profile, but rather it is home. Let me save this. Okay, clicking on it takes to home page, clicking on this takes to profile, again clicking on this, log out. Done, we are good. Let me just log in with. Let me just log in again. Okay, invalid username and password. What is the data that we have? Oh, it is a single M. Right, password. Done. Okay, looks like password is also wrong. I don't know what is the password that I gave. Just at 124. Okay, that is also seems like a wrong password. Okay, let us do one thing. Let us sign up. Archana at gmail.com. And password I would actually give is test at 123. And I'm going to submit. Right, it did register. Let us just validate that in the DB. Did we actually get the Archana record here? Okay, did we get the record?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now let me go back here and try to log in. Archana at gmail.com. Password is test at 123 and then log in. Okay, so welcome to home page and let me go to the profile. Oh, is it the right data that we gave?
Yes, sir.
Right, which means we are now able to implement right? A proper login, logout, and a profile page and a profile. And we are able to access these protected pages, right? So for example, I say logout and I try to access that user slash profile. Okay, what does it say? It is saying login first. It is saying login first. It is not giving access to any of the any of the protected URLs. It will say first login, only after that you would be given access to. Okay, let us log in. Right after that, it will give access to home, but home URL, right? Profile URL and stuff like this. Okay, now this is how you will protect the URLs. This is how you will protect the URLs. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now if I have to tell you, give me a second. Let me connect. Right. Right. So we know how to create a Flask application. Do we know how to create a Flask application? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Import Flask and then app is equal to Flask, right? And then app dot run. We know how to create a URLs.
Sir.
App dot route.
Root.
Do you know how to manage Jinja? Do we know Jinja templating?
Yes, sir.
HTML name followed by the parameters that you can use in the HTML to replace, and conditions and loops. You can do that. Okay. Do you know how to log in?
Yes, sir.
Do we know these three? Login, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Logout,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right? How to protect your URLs?
Yes, sir.
Login required, at the rate login required. Now with this, and we know, do we know how to talk to database? Right? Get data, store data, right? Update. Do we know how to perform these operations?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Which means you are now capable of developing a project. You are now capable of developing a project itself, right? So that's it. Your Flask is completed.